Hi everybody. So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about the database exploration assignment, which is an assignment that you have coming due soon. So if you look at the assignment details, you're going to see that we are going to be focusing on EBSCOhost in this class. If you saw an earlier draft of this, you might have seen that there are a couple options. The one that we're going to go with is EBSCOhost. So these are the assignment details, and I've put in the announcement to make sure that you read over these on your own. But the basic gist is that you are going to make sure you're familiar with the reading to is school too shallow reading that is due, and make sure that you finish the comprehension check so you have an idea of the article. And then what we're going to be doing is using EBSCOhost to search for a complementary source for this article. And that complementary source that we find through doing these steps is going to be our reading 3, R3, that we will use in the next unit, in unit 3, the summary response paper. So you'll see that we're going to use EBSCOhost. That's the one that I've chosen. And if you look here, there's an EBSCOhost template that's going to walk you through the process of finding a source. And the source that you find in filling out this template is going to be the source that you use for reading 3. And this template is all that you're going to turn in to complete this database exploration assignment. So I'm going to go ahead and download this. If you click on it, you'll see that it just download automatically to your computer. You might have to look at your downloads files, but it'll be right there for you so that I have that ready to go. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to do this step and just show y'all exactly where to find this. So you can see that to find the library databases, there's a list of instructions here, and I'll show you where to find them. So if you're in just your general MyDTCC landing page that looks like this, y'all's will look like this because of our students. If you're in this landing page, you can see over here under the Student Success Toolbox, there's an entire section called Library. And if you click the drop down, you'll see some online services and then an entire section called Databases. So there are lots of databases listed here. The ones that you're most commonly going to hear about using at Del Tech are probably Credo, EBSCOhost, and SIRS. Sometimes Statista too. These are databases where you can find information. A database is just a repository for lots of information, in this case, for articles. So we're going to choose EBSCOhost because that's the one that we've chosen. And here is the opening page when you log into EBSCOhost. So EBSCOhost is actually a conglomeration of a lot of different databases. So all of these little sections right here in blue with the checkboxes next to them, these are separate databases on their own. EBSCOhost is kind of like the Google that allows you to pull all of these different databases. So these are just, some of the databases. Each one of these blue boxes that's separated out, or blue titles that's separated out in these little gray boxes, is a different database. And underneath each, there's a description. So I'm going to pull up my lovely template. So this is the one you should be using because you're going to be exploring EBSCOhost. And you can see that it tells us to log into the EBSCOhost database through the DTC resources page to locate and evaluate a text related to the reading assigned by your instructor, which is reading 2. So here we are. We're in the EBSCOhost databases. And you can see right here that your first task is to read the descriptions of the available databases and list 3 databases that are appropriate given your theme or topic. So it's important that we know the topic from our comprehension paper that we did, that we have a general idea of what we're looking for in these databases, because that's going to help us pick these databases that are appropriate. So if you're confused, you're like, but I thought EBSCOhost was the database. No, it's the host. That's why it's right there in the title. What EBSCOhost does is it hosts a lot of different databases. So when it asks you about the databases, it's referring to these things: Academic Search Complete, Master File Premier. And so what you want to do is read the descriptions that you think will be applicable for searching in for our particular reading, and then you'll click them. I'm going to tell everybody to choose Academic Search Complete anytime you are doing a research paper, you're looking for information. Academic Search Complete is a great place to just start your information. But you can see that if we read this description down here that says that CINAHL is the world's most comprehensive source of full text for nursing and allied health journals, our topic doesn't really have to do with nursing and allied health. So it's maybe not the most helpful. We're going to scroll down, and given our topic, things like this and this, those two databases, if you read the descriptions, seem like they would be good ones to look at. So I'm going to click those three, and I will hit continue. And what I would write down in my document is the names of those databases. So I would write down complete, and I would write down, I think I used Eric. You would be writing down the names of the actual databases. Now here it's asking for 3 keywords and 3 synonyms that you can use in your search. And what you're going to be looking for with keywords and synonyms are the things that you can include to search. This isn't exactly Google. You're not just going to type in, is school too shallow, ? And then hit send and see what happens, because you're just probably going to get back a lot of things that are completely unrelated. And also you'll probably just get the original article. You'll probably get a hit on the original article. So we're going to pick some keywords and some synonyms for those keywords that we could potentially use in our search. I'm going to start with education and critical thinking is where I'm going to start. And you can put those in here. You can come up with some synonyms for education, some synonyms for critical thinking. You can add those in here. So here I would write something, education, critical thinking. And over here, you'd come up with a synonym that might help you to change your search. And I'm just going to leave these. You should try and fill in as many of these as you can. But you're going to watch me in the process of doing this. I'm going to, I'm going to kind of probably have to backtrack and change things and narrow things down. And you can watch what I'm doing and see if there's any keywords I include that you can put into your list as well. So if I'm following along in my instructions, which are really clearly written out here, I can see that it's telling me to click on advanced search, and it's telling you to limit it, making sure that you're kind of coming up with ways to narrow it down. So the advice here, you can see over here, I'm going to click on full text. The reason that I'm going to choose full text is because if you don't click on full text, you're going to get abstracts for articles that we don't pay for. The database doesn't know what subscriptions Deltek pays for or not. That's not its job. Its job is to find articles that match the description. If Deltek doesn't have a subscription to the magazine, we do not have access to the full text of it. So save yourself some heartbreak so that you don't find the perfect article and then realize that you can't actually access it through our system. And just choose full text. And you can see that there's other things that you can click through. There's other pieces of advice they give here. And honestly, you can do them over here like I am. I guess I'll show you what it says in the instructions is to choose the advanced search here and to make the changes there. So choose full text, choose scholarly peer-reviewed journals. Usually I use the menus on the left. So let's see. So academic journal, you can highlight that. References available you can click on. I don't normally do the months because I'm not that particular, but I am going to put some limits on the years because I don't want stuff that's super old. So I'm going to say say think they had some more pieces of advice. Apply related words, published date, number of pages, language. Sometimes I don't really fuss with that. I do fuss with language. That's a good idea because we do want it to be in English. That'll make our lives easier. And when you've kind of gone through all the limiters that you want to include, you can hit search. And it will give you a more limited search. So I always use these things over here, but you can also, as I was doing, click on the advanced search. Okay, so then you can tell that even though we typed in education and critical thinking, the hits are not going to be perfect. We're not typing in an entire title. This isn't Google. You're going to have to do some sorting, and you're going to have to do the thing that people say never to do on Google, which is you're going to have to look through multiple pages. If you don't get a hit in the first second and you get frustrated, that's your Google brain. Don't listen to it. You are searching for information. You're going to have to sift through it. It's like back in the day going to the library and finding the book. It's not just going to show up on the first shelf where you stand. We're going to have to do a little bit of digging in to try and find a good article. So we're going to also just double check over here. What else do our instructions say? Always good. Once you find an interesting title, click on the magnifying glass to read the description. Okay. All right. So we're going to do that. So this is the magnifying glass. And it'll tell you a little bit about the abstract and it gives you information. You can also click on the article itself and it'll take you to this page where you can choose detailed record, which is going to tell you about the article itself. Like the source is going to be the name of the journal that it came from. It's going to tell you authors. It's going to give you some more. If you look at these subject terms, these can give you other potential ideas. Visual communication is not a good keyword here because we're not talking about visual communication. But if you find a good article, you could write down some of these if they're related. So maybe like undergraduate programs or higher education might be a good keyword or synonym to add to our list, provided that our article's about that. I'll let y'all decide. Y'all have already done the comprehension, so you know what it's about or not. This is going to tell us the volume and issue it was published in, the year it was published, the page numbers, and information like that in the abstract. When you click on HTML full text, if there is a full text or if there's an HTML version, you'll be able to get the article this way. And then if you look over here at the PDF full text, you can get a PDF of it. I'm going to go back to the result list and I'm just going to do a little bit of searching through here and see if I can find something. This is all about like digital materials and I don't know how helpful that's going to be. But I'm just going to keep patient. Maybe that would work. Okay, so maybe I'm going to click on this and see if this has anything good in it. There isn't an abstract, so I'm just going to click on the article. Yeah, okay. So this seems like perhaps there might be something worthwhile in here. Yeah, so this looks like something that might be a good article. So y'all are more than welcome to find this again and see if it actually, you know, is a good article. If it seems like it's going to kind of match up with the article that we've read. I'm going to use it as my example. So the next and last step in our process is it says, you know, it encourages you, don't give up. The next and final step is to put the APA reference. So you can find that right over here and just paste it in. Actually, I'm going to go back to the detailed record and see if I can find it there. There we go. And choose the Cite button. And you can see if you scroll down, APA 7th edition, these aren't always right, so don't get frustrated if I'm like, that's actually wrong. When I see yours, I'll tell you how to fix it. And I'm just going to copy and paste it into my sheet right here. And then you double check it in the instructions, it says, because some things are going to be goofed up. So you check that reference. And then down here, you fill out the CRAP test. And that's it.